Hello, my name is Richard Worsham from Janus Motorcycles. We've been quite busy since our last update, it's been a while, but we've been getting a lot done. As many of you know, we've had a lengthy delay with our engines this summer and fall. The good news is they're on their way to our facility now. This downtime has given us the chance to update a lot of aspects of the bike and send some bikes through the whole production process to clean everything up, test. And right now we have 2 bikes coming out of production that will be essentially a second generation models. That process involved jigging, developing tooling for every single part of each bike. What that means is that we're developing a fixture that the part is manufactured in. Oftentimes, it's bent, it fits in that part, and then it gets welded up. And what that means is that every single part coming out of that jig is identical. We can identify a problem based on the fact that if it doesn't fit that jig. So at this point we have most of the components jigged, and once we finish the tooling for a part, we begin production on our batch of bikes with that part. What we're doing here with Janus Motorcycles is manufacturing. And what that means is that every part has to be exactly how we want it, not just now, but years down the road. We couldn't be happier with the state that all the components coming together. Developing a product like that takes a great deal of forethought and a lot of thought during the actual product development stage, which we're in right now. A good example of this is right now we're on essentially the 4th rendition of our front leading link suspension. We've changed it numerous times. Each time it's getting better, but at this point we have a fork with the geometry that we feel is the perfect middle ground between anti-dive and shock absorption, good braking, and tracking really well. We couldn't be happier. We've been working with a lot of our vendors to finalize and tweak each component for our 2 models. One of those vendors that we've been working really closely with is Icon Suspension. We've been probably working with them for about 6 months with many renditions of our shock absorbers to get the perfect spring rate and damping to make a really comfortable ride, and we're very pleased with the suspension on both models. Another vendor we've been working with for a number of years on our previous model and the new one is Motion Pro. Motion Pro makes all our cables, throttle, clutch, and we couldn't be happier with such a great American vendor. Other news from Janus is we recently, this last weekend, went down to the Barber Vintage Festival in Birmingham, Alabama. We had a booth there to show our bikes and to participate in the weekend's festivities. The Barber Museum is a private collection of motorcycles, one of the best motorcycle collections in the country, if not the world. He's also built a racetrack right next to the museum and holds this festival every year. We were privileged to be part of that and participate with a lot of other manufacturers. There are 2 other U.S. motorcycle manufacturers in Birmingham, Modus and Confederate. We toured both facilities and were extremely impressed with some of our peers in the American motorcycle industry. We'd love to give a big thank you to everyone who came out to that event and saw our bikes and the other companies that were there, Analog Motorcycles, Modus, Confederate. Thank you very much for watching this update, and we will be posting more videos shortly.